Unarmis Sportswear. Sponsors of Drop the Puck.
We're back at the Den for this laidler conference battle between the Dragons and the Widnes Wild, Ben.
Yeah, 1 versus 7th, Gary. The laidler champions, the Wild already, being crowned. And it's going to be interesting to see whether, they're going to put on an exhibition game or the Dragons are going to give them a run for the money.
Well, we love a local derby, and this one's got to be one of the best. It's always on the calendar. We circle it off. And I think this is certainly going to be one of them games we're going to see a lot of action and hopefully some dropped gloves.
Dare I say it, Gary? Get the napkins. It's going to be a tasty one.
I think it is. But like Ben's already said, Widnes have already been crowned the champions of the laidler conference, and they're looking to sort of get themselves in the right frame of mind for the playoffs. Will they take it easy, do you think? Or will the Dragons go out and blaze and try and get some points and prove a point with them?
Well, I think the Dragons are going to try and prove a point. I think it's more what they're going to try and do. The points on the leaderboard don't matter anymore. It's playing for pride. And in this aged derby, which has been going on for many a season now, I think, the Dragons are going to want to try and prove a point and knock a little chip off the Wild.
Well, let's get right down to it, Ben. Who should we be watching out for in tonight's game?
So, Dragons, I think number one you got to look out for is Matt Wainwright. Matt's been a key part of the defensive unit of the Dragons all season. But the thing is, he's a hybrid skater. Give him some open ice, and that guy can move. He's got good legs for a big man. On top of which, as well, he's got great stick skill as well. And you'll see that. And he exploits the opportunities. I think the other guy you got to keep an eye on as well is Alex Parry. He's a bit like the bridesmaid, never the bride. He can always get on the assist, or he's always picking up the rebounds, but he doesn't make the big play. But the big thing about Alex as well is he's not afraid to get involved for his team. So I kind of fancy, either Parry or Jones or someone to drop the gloves tonight.
What about the Wild? Who should we be looking out for, or should we actually have to say?
Well, I'm not even going to mention that first line, to be honest. Apart from, admittedly, Jakob Hajak, who has slotted right in that Nick Manning role to support Barron and Brittle so well. And he's so fast as well. It's like watching Pavlicek or Palak or Shaw all over again. And I think you've got to keep an eye on him.
I think, like you say, he has slotted in there. That chemistry between Barron and Brittle and Hajak seems to just be working so well. It's put the points on the board, and I think it's got them where they are.
Yeah, very much so. But you don't just get there on one line, and you got to look back to the that Widnes second line as well. And the star guy there for me is Mike Gilbert. Gilbert's just been chipping away all season, assists, goals there. And he's also played a very clean season as well. Not many penalty points to his name, but I think he skates with a lot of heart and passion, and that's what matters on the ice.
Well, talking of the ice, I think it's going to get heated. Hopefully it doesn't melt too much. And I think it's time to get down to that ice side with our commentary team of.
Well, that would be myself and George Perrott.
So without further ado, it's time to
drop the puck.
Cheers for that, Gary. I'm, of course, George. You're alongside me with this one. George Perrott, it's been a while since you've been here.
Yeah. Glad to be back. Thanks for having me.
And we've got a tasty barnstormer here, as we quite rightly said. You've got the D-side Dragons, you've got the Widnes Wild, the league champs versus playing for pride, the local derby that we love. What's going on?
Well, the Dragons have had a mixed season, I suppose, and only last week Wild were crowned champions, but I think this will still be a fierce encounter. There's a history between these two teams, and neither one will want to lose the game. So, yeah, looking forward to a hot one.
Well, they've got nothing to lose now in regards to penalties. The league's there, so will we see some lead gloves from Widnes? Will the Dragons suffer from second period syndrome? So it's going to be an interesting one, and if I'm quite honest, I've had this one marked on the calendar with the bid rate circle for a while.
And let's not forget that whatever happens here, we'll have a follow-up next week in Widnes. So
yeah, this, of course, the first of the double header.
Yeah.
As you see the starting lines taking to the ice now, and as expected, that first line of Hayek, Brittle and Barron straight on the ice for the Wild. Looks like they're going to try and do some damage early. And that first line of the Dragons as well of Keating, Parsons and Furnival. So we get ready to drop this one, George?
Yep, Brittle and Parsons on the face-off. And we're off with the Dragons winning the face-off and Wainwright going back to collect. Forecheck there from Barron, but the outlet pass from Wainwright escaped Keating. And now it's Fay for the Wild, who goes back and reverses to Offord, the Wild captain. He's knocked one down deep, a rolling puck for Hajek to chase. Hajek gets it in deep behind the Dragons' net, and it's loose up at the point. Keating for the Dragons plays a weak one across the top of the zone, and Furnival struggles against a couple of players there for the Wild, unable to keep control of it. Now Barron, turning back in his own zone, has put the puck towards Parsons. Parsons tried to pass inside, but that was intercepted. And now Parsons slings it back behind the Wild net for Offord to collect on the far boards. His pass is loose. And now the Wild coming through centre with Fay. Fay will dump it in and get his change. And this is Wainwright, I believe, for the Dragons. And we've got a call here.
Yeah, call early. But I must admit, immediately, what a surprise. Furnival's heading straight to the box.
Well, would you know it? I didn't see exactly what that was about, but Dragons have started the game off short-handed, only a minute and 7 seconds into the game.
Well, doesn't surprise me, to be honest, George, the way they've been acting this season.
They've got Bez Hughes, Danny Bullock and Kemp out. Kemp looks like he's playing as a forward on this power play line. Perhaps
number 23.
The net front present, perhaps, if net front presence, if they can get set up. Now, Gilbert's pass is intercepted by Parry. Parry takes an angled shot onto Wilson, the Wild netminder, and now Shaw goes back and collects it behind the net and throws it up to the point where Perks has kept it in. Shaw bats it back down behind the Wild net, so good start to this penalty kill for the Dragons. Wild not yet able to get control. Now Parry's battled the puck clear. Oh, and he just lost it in his skates as he got a shooting opportunity. And it looks like the numbers are going to be levelled up here as we've got a hooking call. Parry did well to create that. He battled to win the puck, took it to the net, and left Jackson no choice but to impede him.
Oh, 4-on-4 hockey, George.
Yeah, 4-on-4, lots of space. Face-off is in the Wild zone. And it's Parsons and Brittle on the draw, with Hajek out the other forward for the Wild and Chappell out for the Dragons. Now Offord has reversed it for Fay. Fay steps out, finds space where he can return it to Offord, and now Offord carries over the blue line for the Dragons. And we've gone offside, have we?
It appears so. Quickly picking up there, George, and what you were saying, netminder there tonight, starting between the pipes there, is going to be Luke Wilson for the Wild. Wilson, 87.16% save average coming into this game. His counterpart on the opposite side, Dom Jolly, 85.3% save average. Going to be an interesting night for them.
Yep, the numbers look fairly close. Now, the Wild in their own zone, looking to come out, which they do with Brittle. Brittle taps one back to Fay, and they regroup cross ice for Offord. And now Hajek coming through centre, manages to evade Chappell, takes a slap shot which is well wide of the net, comes all the way out as far as Offord, but now Brittle slows in the neutral, comes up through the neutral zone, plays a nice pass for Hajek, but he couldn't quite corral it.
25 seconds remain on the Dragons penalty there.
Yeah, oh, now there's a mistake there from Marples, who tried to lift one through the zone but didn't quite get enough on it. Now there's a shot from Chris Jones, saved by Wilson. That's his first stop of the game. And the Wild throw it all the way down to Jolly.
3, 2, 1. That penalty expires. Trapdoor opens and on back to the ice.
Furnival's out, and it's now the Wild who are short-handed. As Barron returns it to Kemp. Goes across to Bez Hughes. Bez Hughes hits one in from distance, which is gloved by Jolly and dropped for Wainwright to collect. Wainwright's being chased. He reversed it. And this is Billy Perks. Dragons looking to set something up here. Billy Perks passes up to Wainwright at the blue line. Wainwright now coming through centre. Goes onto his backhand, cuts inside.
Great shot.
Yeah, tried to lift it over the blocker of Wilson, but couldn't quite get it up. Now here's Perks. Perks dropping for Shaw. His shot was blocked.
2-1 and the back to...
Wild don't clear, but they have killed the penalty.
Yeah,
and that was a good shot with a high rebound from Wilson. Bez Hughes collects it, throws it up, but Austin's there to stop it for the Dragons. And now Jackson has managed to block Austin's shot, which clears the zone.
Neither team taking advantage of the odd man there, George.
Now we have Parsons trying to battle a loose puck, which he's managed to do. It come to Austin, but it escaped Austin, and Kemp knocks a long one in, which is gloved aside by Jolly. And the Dragons now coming out of their zone. Wainwright tried to bat a high one in, but that was gloved down by Cooper. And now he and Mora go to work, trying to recover the puck against Wainwright. And Cy Offord dumps the puck in for Widnes. And the Dragons' outlet pass is high-sticked, so we will have a neutral zone face-off, I would imagine.
Very much so. And just picking up there, it looks like Offord early on is teaming up with Kemp when that third line of Widnes is out, just to give the bit more support.
So they've got 5 defensemen, have they? 6 defensemen out.
Well, if you know...
Offord's doubling up, yeah.
Which is interesting, because it is a light bench for Widnes, considering to what they can usually bring. They are missing key men.
Now, Furnival has got a loose one here. Wilson came out and cleared it. And Mike Mora is intercepted for the Wild. It's Parsons wearing a face cage today.
Yeah, we did
plays
notice.
A puck up to centre. Yeah, it looks like he had a black eye, I think.
My injury early.
Furnival plays one across to Parsons. Parsons' shot was high. And now Furnival knocks one all the way back down to Offord. Offord's hurt in the corner here. I'm not sure what's happened. Of course, this is the thing that Widnes will obviously dread more than anything, is getting key players injured. Didn't quite see what happened.
And we should have a quick
Just
look
like to
at
take a big opportunity to
the shot there from the Dragons. Good effort early on. Dragons bringing the pressure early. Widnes not being able to just skate the game the way they want, as Offord is back up now and just making his way to his bench.
Yeah, well...
And as you quite rightly said, George, there, they can't really afford many injuries. Obviously, playoff hockey is in the pipeline for them, but they've got no Novak tonight, no Dipnell, no Jordan.
Yeah. And no sooner had you pointed out that he was double shifting, or what looked like he was double shifting, he's now hurt himself.
There's a big hit gone in on Barron.
Barron has been hit in the corner, and a shot from Jones.
Oh, sure! And they've gone! Well, Barron wasn't happy with that.
Got some aggression here now. Who's this? This is Shaw, is it?
It looks like Shaw and Barron.
Tipped over by Barron, yeah, that's Barron.
And there was a cross-check came into the back initially that started all that off. After he took the hit on the board, Chappell and Kemp, a little bit of afters there. And this is the fireworks we were hoping for with this derby game.
It was Parry. It was Parry, not Shaw, I think.
And Parry and Barron, not over yet.
Yeah, Parry's not happy.
I'm surprised to see Barron react the way he did. Parry, maybe not so. As the number 7s come to blows.
Fighting start here.
Well, we can see that again. The initial hit came in on Barron against those boards. It came back out in front of the net. There was the cross-check that kicked the initiation off. And then the gloves dropped. Immediately, though, it was over. Good tilt, lads, but now we can see there Mr. Suster's having a word with Parsons and Kemp. And
so,
it's going to be interesting to see what happens now.
Well, Parsons just flashed 5 fingers at the Dragons bench, so are they going to get a power play out of this?
Well,
because there was. I don't think there was a penalty on the play in the corner. Didn't seem to be a penalty on the play in the corner. So looks like BASN may have got some extra minutes here. Yeah, they've just gone up on the board.
Okay.
So 2-minute power play here, I think, for the Dragons.
Well, we'll await official confirmation from the match day officials shortly. And you can see Armstrong coming to the bench.
Armstrong's going to sit the extra. So I would imagine if this is a 2 plus 10, then it'll be Armstrong sitting the 2.
Well, will it be a cross-check? Or will it be instigation? It'll be interesting to see. But either way, Dragons on the power play with 15:34 gone in this first period.
Just like old times, eh?
Just like old times.
Now it's Wainwright.
Penalty, number 7, Ollie Barron, 2-minute minor penalty for cross-checking.
And it's a cross-checking.
Yes! Oh, no. Do beg your pardon, he hit the side netting. It was Wainwright from a tight angle. Saw the bottle pop up, I thought he'd scored. And now he might. Oh, he's missed the net, Wainwright. Great chance. Dragons looking fairly well composed here on this power play. Wainwright up top to Parsons. Parsons got Chris Jones. Chris Jones looking to shoot, is he? Yep. That one wide. Now Wainwright again, up at the point. Goes low to Chappell at the half boards. Chappell backhands one in loose, but oh, that was nearly intercepted by Fay. And now Wainwright struggling to get it through, and he has. Well, that was blocked in front. Brittle now looking to clear for, oh, he got it on the tape of Hajek, but it just, as soon as it was on the tape, it was off the tape. And Jolly has to swing it round for Chris Jones to collect. Chris Jones knocked it back dangerously where Brittle was chasing. And now Wainwright has knocked it back dangerously. So Brittle backhands for Hajek, and good stick check there from Keating. Good back check.
Dragons in dangerous play out in front of them.
Yeah, great chances at both ends. So Furnival now for this second unit taps it up to Shaw, and Shaw was falling, but he managed to get a shot on the ice wide of the net. Austin now cross ice pass at the Dragons blue line to Jones, and back to Austin looking to build from deep. Austin up to Shaw. Shaw collects on the backhand, plays inside to Keating. Keating can't get it on his forehand for a shot and tries to centre it, but that's intercepted by Bullock. However, now it's up at the point with Jones, and Bullock blocked that one. And now it's Shaw for the Dragons behind the Wild net.
10 seconds
10 seconds remaining, yeah. Ryan Jones knocks it back down into the corner. Jackson collects for the Wild. This penalty shortly over, and the pass up to centre is collected by Gilbert. Gilbert takes it wide, tries a move, he's lost it. Austin, bit of space.
Back to full strength.
But he's on his own as the Dragons are changing, and he can do nothing but get it back deep into the zone. Now Parsons and Gilbert going against each other. Parsons gets the better of that. Oh, and the pass
that was dangerous.
Was behind Parsons. Thankfully Jolly was awake and was able to stop that.
Well, neither team able to capitalise so far on the special teams time on the ice, but Dragons having 2 power plays at the moment. So just to confirm, it's a 2+2 on Parry for fighting and a 2+2 on Barron for fighting, +2 for the cross-check as well.
Right, okay. So those lads have got a little bit longer in the box, and they'll be popping out at the same time, conveniently.
Which will be interesting.
Now, Bez Hughes' turning shot for the Wild is wide of the Dragons' net. And now Chappell comes up his wing, finds Shaw. Shaw's bodied by Cooper, but found Parsons.
Wilson, what a save, Wilson there.
Parsons shot high on Wilson and he gathered it. Good chances for the Dragons so far.
Yeah, but again, it's the same old skaters causing the Wild problems. You know, your Parsons, your Shaw, your Furnival. If they're going to be able to keep themselves in the game tonight, they'll just close those guys out. And we know Widnes have got the ability to do that.
Now, oh, one's just popped out in front of the Widnes goal, but thankfully there were no Dragons there. And this is Marples for the Dragons behind his own net, but he's lost the puck. And Moore is battling it loose for the Wild, but the Dragons come away with it. Chappell, great cross ice pass, but offside.
Humphreys there, great vision and awareness to try and find Shaw on that overlap there. But you can see already Tensions are not anywhere near over. It's just bubbling below the surface. 8:29 gone in this first period. Still Dragons 0, Widnes 0. And so far the Dragons not making it easy for the Wild.
Now Brittle and Parsons on the draw. Have they found the face-off spot? I think they have. There it is, and Parsons ties up Brittle for Keating to come in and recover the puck. He plays it up to Furnival, but that came loose. And Gilbert had to play himself onside. And now Brittle to Gilbert. They're loose to Hajek. Oh, blocked by Wainwright. Good play. Good defensive play there to stay in the passing lane.
Looks like Gilbert's taken the slot of Barron there.
Yeah. Jackson's shot from the points kicked into the corner by Jolly, but there waits Brittle. Puts a move on Parsons and goes behind the Dragons' net. Still got it. This time he's up with Keating at the wing. Now he's loose from the half-boards. Plays it inside to Gilbert. Gilbert played it back, looking for Barron, but it was behind him. Beg your pardon, Brittle. And now shot from distance, scores! What a finish.
What a goal, James Parsons.
Yes.
Well, Parsons picks it up just inside his own zone. Skated it through neutral ice. Gets inside the blue line. Picks his spot. Lovely little wrist shot. Top shelf on Wilson. 1-0 Dragons. Could this be an upset on the cards tonight for Widnes? It'll be interesting to see. Are they playing too complacent? Inviting the pressure on from the Dragons. 9 minutes 14 gone in the first.
Humphreys, Austin and Chappell at the restart for the Dragons. And Ryan Jones, the defenseman, swings it in behind the Widnes net.
First assist, number 13,
where the Wild try and recover with Bullock. Bullock stepping out through centre, gains the blue line. Thought about reversing it to Gilbert, but then went wide. And he still got Gilbert. Oh, and he found Gilbert, but they didn't quite manage to get a shot away. Now Fay turns around from his man for the Wild. Turns again, and he's threw one on net there for Gilbert. Gilbert had a jam play against Jolly, but Jolly was solid to his post. And now Chappell trying to clear the puck. But they only get it up as far as offered. And we've got another call here. And that is a cross-check. And it's former Dragon Bez Hughes making the journey to the bench. So, yeah. The league champions on the ropes a little here. They have conceded first, and they have taken a couple of penalties and been short.
Yeah, it's something that we noticed all season, and myself and Gary spoke about, was how disciplined Widnes were, and they were keeping guys on the ice, and that's how they were doing the damage. Maybe in their head, the off-season hockey's already started. Yeah.
Well, certainly in the circumstances, they're not going to take kindly to any well, to it being run, basically, are they? Their main objective, surely, you've got to be to avoid any injury. Oh, great play. Hajek's hit the post, and a rebound there for Barron. Just as we say, they're on the ropes. They're back off the ropes. They're swinging, and they've connected.
Yeah, early sucker punch to get them back in this game, as we saw there. Hajek bursting down on net, puts a shot on Jolly. It comes out between him post and Jolly, leaves an open goal, inviting on a platter there for Barron. Barron does his talking on the ice and gets one back. 1-1 with 10:13 gone. George, we've got ourselves a game.
Yeah. Short-handed goal. And still short-handed, and it's still Barron and Hajek. And Hajek recovers a puck, but is hit by Ryan Jones. And now the Dragons come back with Parry. Parry going across the face of Kemp. Kemp managed to poke it away. Parry recovers it, but he's now bodied by Barron. Parry getting the puck out from his feet. Plays it up to Austin at the point. Austin shoots. That took a deflection in front. And now Ryan Jones shoots through, and that's kicked away by Wilson. Parry now. Dragons not struggling to generate shots on their power plays. And a loose puck there gobbled up by Wilson. And we're going to have a face-off in the Wild End.
Well, the cobwebs on Wilson starting to show. We know he's a young lad anyway. He's had plenty of experience this season, 17 games under his belt. At the 109 shots he'd faced coming in, he'd only had 14 goals in. But he's seen a lot of shots coming in, a lot of pressure from this Dragon side.
Now, Ryan Jones in the neutral zone. Plays across to his defence partner, Austin. Austin tried to bank one off the boards for Chappell, but there wasn't enough on it, and it's collected by Brittle. Brittle plays to Fay for the Wild. Fail, cross ice to Offord. Offord throws it all the way back behind the Dragons' net. But Dom Jolly's made a nice quick play to get the Dragons back on the attack quickly, and then Chappell has knocked it right down into the zone for Shaw to battle for it. Now Chappell comes in to support, and the puck pops loose, but it's Brittle who's there to receive it. And Ryan Jones got to be careful though not to interfere with Gilbert, who's forechecking on this Wild short-handed unit. Now Parry carrying through neutral. Got it lost in his feet, and now he's on the backhand. Oh, huge hit by Bullock on Parry. There's your revenge for the... oh, good, but a great chance immediately after by Ryan Jones, who played a good play to the net where there was a stick in the zone and a long shot from Wainwright, gloved by Wilson. Yeah, a little message there for Alex Parry.
Yeah, certainly, you know, it's going to it's going to be an interesting one, just in the sense of it's that derby game. This age-old rivalry of Widnes and Deeside goes back as long as I can remember, George.
Yeah. And it looks like they've taken a number tonight, and that number may be the number 7. So let's have a look and see how this plays out. Now, at the moment, it's Jackson battling for the Wild, who are looking to get it out, and they only get it as far as Wainwright. We're back to 5-on-5 here, of course. And Parsons' shot saved by Wilson. And once again, the face-off is in the Wild's end, which is a pretty solid indication of the direction of play so far.
Yeah, very true, George. The Dragons have certainly got the skates going under them this first period. They're adding a little bit of pressure to this Wild game plan I don't think they were expecting. It's going to be interesting to see how the remaining 2 periods play out.
Now Armstrong looking for Offord. Sorry, that's Cooper at centre, but he's behind him. And now Furnival plays one up to Keating and Parsons across the zone. Parsons centred for Keating, sorry, centred for Parsons, but it didn't get that far. And now this is Jackson, the Wild defenceman, up to Moore as this Wild third line, I think, of Cooper, Armstrong, and Moore go to work, get the puck in the Dragons zone, battle it back from Wainwright, but it's poked loose by Keating, and now Mike Moore goes back.
Yeah, Mike Moore is one of those guys, you've got to be careful with him, giving him room, because of his size as well. He likes to jam up right in front of that net and cause the netminders all sorts of problems.
And now Hajek is on and moving, and nice moves too, but he just one move too many, and then takes a shot from high up in the zone, which was easily blocked away by Jolly. Then they switch the sides of attack, and Hajek making a play behind the net, plays it out for Brittle. Brittle went high, and I'm not sure if that hit something, looked like it might have done. Now Chris Jones finally clears the zone for the Dragons, and the Wild get it back with Offord. Long pass up to centre for Hajek, that skipped off his skate and was gloved down by Chris Jones. Chris Jones now for the Dragons plays inside for Chappell. Chappell gets it under control and plays a low one in where Parry is in front of the Wild net. Parry couldn't get hold of it. Chris Jones couldn't get hold of his stick, which he's lost. He's now recovered it. Parry slows it down, plays it right the way to the top, and that was a shot through traffic there from Perks, which was played wide, and now things open up for the Wild with Hajek and Brittle. Oh, good defensive play by Chris Jones to make the pass difficult, and they just ran out of options there.
Yeah, shut that pass lane right off in time. Well played, Chris Jones. But that's the thing about Widnes, they've got the speed with Hajek and Brittle. You can't let them in round the back.
Yeah, how quickly that.
We know the Dragons have been done several times by that this season.
Now Marples plays up for Josh Humphreys, who's bodied by Jackson, and the Dragons go back and collect in their own zone. That's Marples across to Austin. Austin's cross ice for James Parsons to collect. James Parsons drops it for Austin. Austin shoots. They're doing well at shooting into traffic, the Dragons. But now the Wild with Bez Hughes on the attack, and Gilbert, and that's blocked. Good block there from, I think, Shaw. No, I beg your pardon, it's Perks. Perks backhand to Parsons. Parsons gains the zone. Drop to Humphreys. Humphreys' shot easily blocked by Jackson. But Wild don't clear the zone, and Humphreys can tap it back in deep for Parsons. Parsons thought about a wraparound on the backhand there, but now thought better of it and slowed things down. Great pass, great goal! Well, Parsons slowed it down on the backhand, played it cross ice for Austin to finish low glove side, and it's 2-1 Dragons.
Yeah, great pass. Again, the vision and awareness of James Parsons finds Austin, who's only got to put an easy tap in. And the Dragons again pull away late into this first period. It's now Dragons 2, Wild 1.
Well, just over 4.5 minutes to play in this period. The restart, which looked for a second like it hadn't happened. No, it hasn't happened.
Assisted by number 5, James Parsons. Time of the goal, 15-21.
And it looks like we're just going to reset for face-off there.
92 from 5 at 15-21.
The league champions, again, on the back foot. It's going to be interesting to see how they're able to deal with this now.
Now it's Mike Mauer and Shaw contesting the face-off. Mauer has won it for the Wild, where Fay plays cross ice to Offord, his defensive partner. Back to Fay, but that's intercepted by Shaw. Shaw looking lively, driving wide. A stick check by Fay dispossessed him, and now Fay tries to bring up, but he's checked by Furnival, and eventually a loose puck pops up at neutral ice for Fay to carry over. Fay fires a long shot in, which is gloved calmly by Jolly, and the face-off will be in the Dragon zone.
And just noticing there, George, it looks like there's been a change up in the lines for the Dragons as well. Notice there that first line was out and Parsons wasn't there. It looks like Shaw was taking a slot. That could be due to the fact that so far he was on the game sheet, but we haven't seen Mark Lovelights.
No. Is he on the bench?
He is. He was on the bench. Early reports where he was suffering an injury.
We've got a slashing call here. Who's it going against? Oh, it's going against Matt Wainwright. So with just under 4 minutes to play in the first period, the Dragons will have to kill a penalty. This is the second time they've been short-handed, but last time they were short-handed, the Wild took a penalty of their own. So let's see how this Wild power play shapes up. It's going to be Brittle, Barron and Hajek, their first line, with Offord and Fay on defence. And Fay played a slow one in from the point, which has missed the net and cleared the zone. Offord comes back to collect. Offord backhands to Fay. Fay doesn't like what he sees, and he circles back and now finds Hajek. Hajek puts the Jets on, goes backhand, tried to cut inside for a short play, but that was Don Jolly was ready there.
Oh, good clearance away, great defensive play there.
Chris Jones gets it all the way back for Wilson. Oh, miscommunication here, and Parsons, well, yeah, miscommunication between, I think it was Offord and Wilson, that James Parsons nearly capitalised on. And now Brittle from an angle, shot high. I think that hit the post.
Great shot there.
Or possibly the side of the net.
Jolly under pressure now. Minute of this power play gone.
This is Brittle up to Offord. Offord's shot wasn't really a clean one, and it was stick to side by Jolly. And now Hajek battling Furnival in the corner. Hajek evades Furnival, cuts inside on the forehand, and the referee did a great job of cutting him down there.
Yeah, Mr. Susters, the extra defensive man there for the Dragons.
Superb. And back it goes, the length of the ice. Wild change. Fay has to put a quick move on to try and evade Shaw, who's a good little forechecker. And
Shaw's going the box.
I'm not sure what's happening here. Shaw's going to the box. So 5-on-3. It looked a bit like the ref was giving penalties to both. He was giving penalties to both.
Yeah, and Fay's going the box as well.
I don't really see why he needed to give a penalty to either of them, let alone both of them, but Perhaps he saw something that we didn't.
Well, there was 26 seconds remaining on that first penalty. This will be interesting to see what the call is. 17:37 gone in this first period.
Dragons penalty number 15, James Shaw. 2-minute minor penalty for tripping.
So there's four on 4 on the ice, but I don't think there should be, because the Dragons still should. Oh no, sure, 4 on 5. So they're coincidental penalties. The 5th man's come out for the Wild, and now Dragons have still got 24 seconds to kill on the penalty to Wainwright.
2-minute minor penalty for tripping.
Offered to Jackson. Jackson back to Offord, but it's ahead of him. And it's in the Dragons zone, but they just managed to clear the zone. And now Furnival has collected a loose puck, and he's against Jackson, but he just couldn't. He just lost the puck on his dangle. Good solid body there by Ryan Jones on Bullock. Bullock recovered the puck, and Bullock's just bodied Perks. Yeah, Bullock's well named. He really is. He's a strong animal when he wants to be.
Yeah, Danny Bullock, we've seen him on the show a few times. He certainly likes to drop him as well if he gets agitated enough. Former Flintshire Freeze, I believe, if your memory goes back that far. Now Kemp, no, I beg your pardon, this is Moore on the backhand, and he's lined up by Jones, but he rode the check well, and it's getting feisty out there, which is the way we like it. Yeah, Gary will be slacking his gums together for this one. Bullock digging away, and the puck comes loose. Ryan Jones backhands it up to Keating. Keating does enough to get the puck to centre, where Jackson will go all the way back to Offord, playing safety right back there. Offord to Hacek. Back to 5 on 5. They build from deep, yeah. Dragons killed the penalty. Hacek, not sure quite what he's doing there. A little move and then plays the puck in front of his own net. So don't do that in the playoffs, please. And now going back the other way, interesting. Yeah, Jackson tried to body Perks, and Keating came away with it, but it was batted away from Keating. And now Parsons rides his man into the boards. Yeah, good rub out there from Parsons. And we've got just under 30 seconds left of the period. Offord goes cross-ice. Oh, well, a very marginal call, but it looks like the Wild are going to be short-handed now. Too many men on the ice. You can see, I think was it Jackson there who tried to jump in the air? Oh, sorry, if you're in the air, you're still on the ice, mate. Well, almost looked like he got off, I have to say, but just over, I'd say, about 17 seconds of this period remain, and it immediately going to put the Dragons on the advantage. If they do manage to get the goal, it's a pull-away goal of a 2-goal advantage. If they don't, it does mean they're going to start the second period with a power play opportunity. Well, will the Dragons go in on a high? Chappell takes the draw for the Dragons. It comes to Austin. Top shelf finish, Gavin Austin. His second of the game. Straight off the face-off. Well, fantastic. Certainly looks like the Dragons have been working on in the training with that one. That was a great set-piece face-off win. Good draw straight to Austin. Austin released that quickly. It seems like he's found a weak spot on Wilson, and he's exploiting it. It's now Dragons 3, Wild 1. 15 seconds now remaining of 5-on-5 play. Wainwright across to Chris Jones, who takes a very long shot in, which is gloved by Wilson. And we're going to have a face-off with just 5 seconds in the Wild end. But 5 seconds was enough for them on the power play. Will it be enough here? Can they grab another before the hooter? Shaw, Parry and Furnival out for the Dragons. Shaw hits the puck forward, and I think that will do it for the period. Well, there's a buzzer. Widnes here with a game plan, but so far not able to execute it. The Dragons looking to upset the party. So far we go into the end of this first period. Dragons 3, Wild 1. You can catch all the action and join us right after this short break.
Dunamis Sportswear, sponsors of Drop the Puck. Unanimous Sportswear. Sponsors of Drop the Puck. Armis Sportswear. Sponsors of Drop the Puck.